Hello, candle lovers. Thank you so much for tuning in to me today. My name is Greg, and this is all about candles. Happy Saturday, everyone. Every Saturday, I like to do a candle haul on my channel. Went into Bath & Body Works yesterday, picked up quite a bit of stuff. Really wanted to check out this vanilla collection. Got all of those candles. I'm really happy that we're getting Vanilla Noir in a 3-wick candle. And I was just planning on picking up the vanilla stuff. You guys know how much I love my vanilla fragrances. I will hoe myself out for a good vanilla candle. But I was looking around the store, and lo and behold, they have 2 brand new fall collections out now as well, which I wasn't expecting. They have like Pumpkin Bonfire in this collection, and I love Pumpkin Bonfire. Oh, this might be my favorite pumpkin fragrance from Bath & Body Works. And then we've also got this collection with Autumn Evening, which I believe is a totally new fragrance, and football season. And so I ended up doing quite a bit more shopping than I thought I was going to. We're gonna go through each and every one of these candles together and do some investigative work. The store still has a really weird vibe to it, at least in my store. Just so you guys know, I'm up here in Canada. Our stores do seem to run just a little bit differently than the stores do down in the States. So if you notice any discrepancies in my descriptions, that's probably why. I mean, they've just got such a mishmash of stuff in the store right now. I mean, even though semi-annual sale is technically over, they still had one big table of stuff that they're trying to clearance off. And that table just has everything on it. It has Christmas from last year. It has Christmas from this year's SAS with like the Santa Claus glasses. There's a bunch of spring and tropical that they're still trying to clearance off, and fall everywhere, and the big 3 tables full of Halloween stuff. I mean, it's kind of odd. Like right now in the store, we've got winter, spring, summer, fall. Oh, that reminds me of Carole King. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. Anyways, winter, spring, summer, fall. We've got Christmas happening. We've got Halloween happening. I would love to know what is going through the heads of the people in the offices at Bath & Body Works this year. I mean, the first 6 months of the year, we were just starved for some decent candles. One of the most abysmal summers ever candle-wise. I mean, a really boring and rough start to the year for Bath & Body Works, particularly when it comes to candles. And now, within the last 3 weeks, like 3 weeks ago, we had a massive fall update in the store with a White Barn candle update, Neutrals candle update, fall collections. Then a week later, it was Halloween time. And now 1 or 2 weeks later, we've got more fall collections coming out. I mean, talk about feast or famine, Bath & Body Works. It's who knows what's going on with that company right now, but I'm just excited to finally be getting a whole bunch of candles and a whole bunch of new candles as well. Let's get into it. I'm so happy that they put out Vanilla Noir as a 3-wick candle, and I think that the packaging on this just looks fantastic. This sort of textured leather or silk pattern on the wraparound, so sophisticated, kind of sexy. We've got a black lid on this one, and we've got white wax and thin core wicks on this candle. I love Vanilla Noir. And when this fragrance came out in body care, I got the cologne and a lot of the body care, and I wore it for quite a while. In fact, I do have a review up of the cologne and body care of Vanilla Noir if anybody wants to check it out. It's one of the most popular cologne reviews that I've ever done on this channel. I want to do a little bit of a comparison, so I'm going to spray some of the cologne on me right now. The scent notes on Vanilla Noir are rich vanilla, bergamot spice, and patchouli. I mean, these are a few of my favorite things. Yeah. The candle smells very, very similar to the cologne. The cologne hasn't dried down, so it smells like it's a little bit sharper than the candle does. It's a really, really nice fragrance. I like Vanilla Noir. I think I like it much more than the regular Noir fragrance. Yeah, I find it quite leathery. There's no leather note in here, but I really think this is a sexy, leathery vanilla fragrance. You do pick up on some spiciness as well. It's nicely balanced, it's rich, it's sophisticated, it's sexy. I love this fragrance. Yeah, the candle smells pretty much exactly the same to me as the cologne does. Really, really nice. I'm so excited to burn this. If this candle performs well, I am going to be stocking up. To me, this is like a perfect bedroom candle. I mean, I'm gonna have to be getting quite a few of these if this performs nicely. I'm gonna start burning it right away, I think, so I can report back to you folks. Yeah, a lovely, sophisticated vanilla cologne fragrance. And I actually think there's something a little unisexual about this fragrance as well. It is, I do think it leans more towards like the masculine side, but I think that a lot of women would be happy wearing this cologne as well. There's something really, really nice and nuanced about it. Yeah, I love Vanilla Noir. Okay, moving on to the other vanillas. This Vanilla Ease is the one that I was second most excited about. And so we had the Vanilla Romance candle come out last year, and I really enjoyed it. And it must have been a big success because now we're getting these flankers for it. I do want to point out to you folks, when you're shopping, I'm noticing a lot of crooked labels on the candles at Bath & Body Works lately. And you know me, I'm snooping around, like examining all the candles very, very carefully. And I was finding them all to be crooked. You know, these are the ones that I could find that looked the least crooked, but we've definitely got some crooked wraparounds happening on this collection. So if you're the type of person that bothers you, I would definitely get into this store so you can check them out for yourself. I'm excited about this Vanilla Ease candle though. We've got thick ropey wicks on it and white wax. I really like the packaging. I like this text box with like the floral sort of motif in there. The scent notes on it are lavender blossoms, creamy vanilla, and soft cedarwood. I really, really, really like this. It does remind me a fair bit of their lavender vanilla candle. It does remind me quite a bit of that, except I think that the lavender vanilla candle is more lavender forward, and I think Vanilla Ease is more vanilla forward, but it's definitely like in that vanilla lavender sort of wheelhouse. It's nice. I'd say, yeah, it's definitely a floral vanilla candle with a little bit of like woodsiness in the base of the fragrance. You've got the lavender up top. It's a nice soft lavender. It's not like a sharp, stern lavender note. It's a really nice soft lavender. And then in the middle of the fragrance is the vanilla. In the base, you get a sort of light, sort of woodsiness. Yeah, I think this is a lovely fragrance. It doesn't smell extremely strong to me, so knock on wood that it's gonna perform all right. I like it a lot. Oh, I really hope that this performs well. Vanilla Ease. Yeah, I'm excited to try that one out. And then we've got Vanilla Cafe. I almost didn't get this one, you guys, but I knew that I was gonna get it eventually and I'd be kicking myself if I never tried it. I mean, not trying it was really just not an option. So I was just like, okay, I'll get it right now. Vanilla Cafe. I think the packaging looks really, really great on this. Coffee fragrances are not my favorite sort of genre of fragrance, but I do like them once in a while. The scent notes on this are smooth espresso, whipped vanilla, and toasted hazelnut. We've got really sort of short, stubby, thick, ropey wicks on here, and white wax as well. This is nice. I feel like I pick up on more, it says hazelnut. I feel like I'm picking up on something a little bit nutty, but I think there's like a bit of dark chocolate happening in this fragrance as well. And honestly, as far as coffee fragrances go, at least on cold here, I like this quite a bit. It's really smooth. It's a really nice, smooth, creamy coffee fragrance. It's not too thick or sticky smelling. Yeah, it's nice. This one also smells a little bit lighter than I would like for it to. I feel like the I feel like the espresso note is what you're getting on top. Then you're getting a nice rich vanilla vibe in the middle of the fragrance. And then in the base, I pick up on a little bit of nuttiness and a little bit of like dark chocolate, but like a smooth dark chocolate. Yeah, smells good. I mean, not gonna be my favorite of the bunch, I don't think, but I am excited to try it. Vanilla Cafe. And then I had to pick up the Vanilla Romance. This came out a while ago. I do have a full-length review out already for Vanilla Romance. If you wanted to check it out in the links below, I'll post it. I think the packaging on this is really nice. I think it's pretty much exactly the same as it looked when it first came out. And we have thick ropey wicks on here and white wax. I'm trying to remember how the Vanilla Romance candle performed the first time around. I remember really loving the fragrance, but I think that I wish the candle was a little bit stronger. I think that the strength and throw on it was acceptable, but I do remember wishing it had been a bit stronger. The scent notes on here are fresh cardamom, vanilla absolute, and captivating woods. And yeah, it's got that sort of sweet, it's like a sweet, like sugary kind of cardamom spice. There's something in this fragrance. And do you guys remember Together Weather from last fall? I loved that candle. And that candle was a little bit confusing to me, but I think that candle also had scent notes that included cardamom in there. The Vanilla Romance candle, there's a fragrance note in here that reminds me a little bit of Together Weather. This doesn't smell like Together Weather, but I'm saying that sort of sweet but spicy scent note to me is quite similar. And there's something a little bit smoky, I think, as well in Vanilla Romance. It's woodsy, it's smoky, it's creamy, it's smooth. It's a little bit like sugary spicy in my opinion. Yeah, I like Vanilla Romance, so I was excited to get another one because truthfully, I wish I had had one in my backups, but I never did, and so I'm glad it came back out so I could give it another try. Maybe this one will be stronger than the last version was. So moving on to the new sort of 2 fall collections that I saw on the shelves, we've got Cinnamon Sugar Coffee Cake, and I do believe that this is a quote-unquote new fragrance, but it smells very familiar to me, so I wouldn't be too surprised if I were to find out it was a repackage of something. The scent notes on it are freshly baked coffee cake, cinnamon sugar crumble, and gooey caramel swirl. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? Oh my gosh, what was it called? Oh, pecans. Toasted pecans, sugared pecans, warm pecans. There is a pecan candle that's been coming out for the last couple of Christmases. I'll look it up and I'll put a picture of it here. What was that? Cinnamon sugared pecans. Cinnamon sugared pecans. Maybe this is a repackage of this? No, I don't think it's a complete repackage. I do pick up on a little bit of a coffee note in here. It reminds me quite a bit of cinnamon sugared pecans. That makes me a little bit nervous because that cinnamon sugared pecan candle, that smelled good on cold, but then I remember burning it and thinking it got really, really gross. This smells similar to that, but I'm not convinced it's exactly the same. It's got quite a bit of cinnamon, a fair bit of caramel, but it's not like that really sort of sticky, sweet, thick caramel note that you get sometimes from Bath & Body Works. It's a little bit lighter than that. I almost didn't pick this one up, you guys. This is really not the type of candle that's right up my alley, but I was curious. I wanted to give it a try. I'm not convinced I'm going to love this one, but it doesn't smell terrible. It's definitely like a very typical sort of caramel cinnamon fall gourmand fragrance. I get some nuttiness in there as well. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what this smells like when it's burning. Maybe I'll love it. Who knows? Oh, I forgot to mention, we've got some cute lids on this collection as well. Really, really cute lids. I like that. I like that a lot. Also, we have Mahogany Apple in this collection. I really like the way that this looks. Yeah, these are some nice wraparounds on here. Mahogany Apple is probably my favorite apple fragrance from Bath and Body Works. Let me think. Yeah, I'd have to say Mahogany Apple. I'm not big on apple fragrances in the first place, but Mahogany Apple's gotta be one of my favorites from BBW. We've also got sort of short, kind of tree stubby, thick ropey wicks on here. Quite a dip in the middle of that wax pool. That's not something that ever really concerns me. Oh, I love Mahogany Apple. The scent notes are red mahogany woods, golden delicious apple, pink peppercorn, and fresh lavender springs. Interesting. We've got 4 scent notes on this candle. Bath & Body Works lately has been very consistent for several years now in just giving us 3 scent notes usually. Yeah, I like the apple note in this. I like that it's a little bit of a darker and warmer apple fragrance. I'm not a big fan of like bright, sort of like crispy, really sweet apple fragrances. Although, you know, I did like that spring apple candle that came out in the spring. I was really surprised by how much I liked that one, but still, Mahogany Apple is my fave. It's rich, it's woodsy. The apple note in there is like, it's not a super sweet apple note. It's balanced really, really nicely with that woodsiness. And there is just a very, very vague touch of something floral in here. I'm not even sure that I would necessarily pick out lavender, but I do pick up on a little bit of sort of a vague floral. Yeah, I really like Mahogany Apple. Fall is not my favorite fragrance season. I know that for a lot of people it is, and I think that's why, you know, Bath & Body Works knows what they're doing. They make a big deal out of fall every year, and they always put out a lot of fall stuff. I think my favorite fragrance season is honestly summertime, and that's why I'm such a bitter Betty right now. I feel like Bath & Body Works just basically skipped over summer this year. And yeah, fall's not my favorite because it is a lot of like gourmands, a lot of cinnamon stuff, but usually when fall arrives, I am ready for it and I start to get really into it. Now this might be, it's probably my favorite pumpkin candle from Bath & Body Works. It might even be my very favorite fall candle fragrance from Bath & Body Works, to be honest with you. When it comes to pumpkin candles, I love pumpkin vanilla cream and I love pumpkin carving. This is almost not even a pumpkin fragrance to me. There is definitely a little bit of those spices that you usually associate with a pumpkin fragrance, but to me, pumpkin Bonfire is just almost its own thing. You know what I mean? And I like that it got sort of a lighter treatment this year. I think that this looks really nice actually. And once again, with the really cool lid on here, I don't think that we've seen these exact lids before. These look pretty new to me. The scent notes on Pumpkin Bonfire are white pumpkin, a bundle of clove buds, and glowing embers. Oh my gosh, I love this one. It's so like rich and woodsy and smoky. Oh, and it's clovey. Like if you're not into clove, I would definitely probably stay away from this one. But I love that this is like really, really sharp and kind of smoky. I've always thought that there's a little bit of an amber note in here, and the spice blend, they say white pumpkin. I feel like a lot of the time when Bath & Body Works says white pumpkin, what that is kind of like a blend of like chai spices, you know? And I feel like that's what this is. It's like a chai latte by a campfire. Yeah, I really love this. There's kind of like a nice sort of sharp, smoky, clovey note in this candle that I'm just obsessed with. I get 1 or 2 pumpkin bonfires every year and I always really, really enjoy them. So I'm excited about that bad boy. It's still a little bit early in the season for me to start firing up a candle like Pumpkin Bonfire, but I'll be getting around to it. Anyways, moving on, let's talk about football season from this collection. I am not a big fan of the labels on these candles. They look a little bit juvenile to me. A little bit kindergarten craft assignment, but I do like the fact that we have colored lids on this collection, and football season has fairly tall, thick, ropey wicks and white wax on it. What does it say? Established in 1990, soy wax blend candle. It says cozy up on the bleachers with a warm flannel and notes of fresh fallen leaves and autumn air. And that's the same little blurb that we get on the scent notes. So warm flannel, fresh fallen leaves, autumn air. I believe that this is a brand new fragrance. I think that I saw it out in a single wick, and I think that I've seen it out in a wallflower, but now we've got it in the 3-wick here. I'm picking up on eucalyptus more than anything, I think. Yeah, I feel like I'm picking up on eucalyptus and maybe a little bit of bergamot. It doesn't say eucalyptus or bergamot in the scent notes, but what exactly does autumn air and fallen leaves smell like? I think that sort of airiness, that sort of kind of cool, crisp airiness is coming from a fair bit of a sort of smooth and soft eucalyptus note and a little touch of a citrusiness as well. It does smell very airy. It smells a little bit light. It does smell familiar to me. It smells maybe like a softer version of Frozen Lake, or what is that other candle that just came out that I think is a repackage of Summer Rain? Gosh, I have it in the candle closet right now. You guys know the one I'm talking about. I'll put a picture of it up here. It smells a little bit similar to that. I like it though. I like eucalyptus and bergamot fragrances. I know that they're like quite basic, but yeah, interesting. This one's interesting. Football season. Can't say I'm like blown away, but I will be interested to burn it and see what it's about. All right, we also have Autumn Evening here. Once again, just not really my favorite packaging on these. And once again, with a fairly crooked job on the wraparound label. But I do always appreciate a colored lid. This one has pretty tall, thick, ropey wicks and white wax, and quite a dip in the wax pour, in the center of the wax pour there. I think this is brand new. There was a candle out quite a while ago called Autumn Night. But that Autumn Night candle was a very sort of typical autumnal spices, like cinnamony candle, whereas the scent notes on Autumn Evening are cool autumn air, fresh eucalyptus, and warm woods. And this doesn't smell incredibly different than football season. Yeah, it really doesn't. It smells kind of similar. This one is a little bit brighter. This one is definitely a little bit brighter. This one smells a little bit stronger. I'd say that the main scent note in here is also the eucalyptus. This one has a little bit of a woodsiness in the base of it that football season doesn't. Yeah, eucalyptus, woodsiness. I feel like there's a little bit of like a bergamot or something citrusy happening in this fragrance as well. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused as to why the two new fragrances in this collection would be so similar to each other. They are different, but very similar vibe. This one smells a little bit stronger and a little bit richer. But once again, mostly a eucalyptus fragrance. Yeah, I like it though. I think I like the Autumn Evening more than I like the football season. And then I also picked up a Book Loft. Book Loft came out for the first time, I think, last year or the year before. It's been extremely popular, so I wasn't surprised to see it come back. It looks all right. I like the colored lid. We have got very tall, thin core wicks on this candle and a little bit of an odd texture in the top of the wax there. This says, pair your favorite book with notes of crisp bergamot woods and a warm blanket. That's exactly what the scent notes on the bottom say. So bergamot woods and blanket. There is something a little bit like papery to this fragrance that I enjoy. Maybe it's like a little bit of cedar in there. I think like the woodsy note in here is a cedar note. Yeah, I like Book Loft, and Book Loft is usually fairly strong. I think I've only ever burned it once before, actually. I think I only burned Book Loft once, and I seem to remember thinking it was probably about a 6.5 or a 7 for strength and throw. Yeah, I like this fragrance. It smells good. You know how old books in the library kind of have that old booky smell to them? There's something about that fragrance that I think this candle captures fairly well, but without it smelling old. It smells like a fresh old book. Yeah. I like Book Loft. I'm excited. I'm glad that it came back. I know a lot of people really love this candle, so I'll be interested to give it another burn and see how it does. Yeah, Book Loft. Anyway, so that's all I've got for you folks today. Thank you so much for joining me. I think I'm most excited about the vanilla candles for sure. I'm most excited about Vanilla Noir and Vanilla Ease. And I'm very excited that Pumpkin Bonfire and Mahogany Apple are back. Those are definitely two of my favorites from BBW every fall. I'm a little bit confused by this collection. I don't think Autumn Evening or football season are really gonna be big hits. They're kind of similar and kind of that sort of vaguely generic, like airy, eucalyptusy, bergamonty kind of vibe. They're not bad. They smell really nice and pleasant, just not super interesting. I think that what we're missing from the autumn collections so far is something that's really new and interesting and packs a punch. You know, everything, they seem like they're playing it quite safe. I would have really loved to have seen something really make a splash, something a little bit out of the box, something a little bit more unique. I think we're kind of missing that. But otherwise, they're all perfectly pleasant, lovely fragrances. Let me know in the comment section below if you've been into a Bath & Body Works lately, what your store looks like, what you're picking up, what you're not picking up. I'd love to hear from you guys. You can follow me on Instagram at allabootcandles and email your burning questions to allabootcandles@gmail.com. If you could hook me up with a like, subscribe to my channel, share it with someone that might be interested, that would mean the world to me. I'll be back tomorrow with the weekly wax wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, my dear gorgeous and beautiful candle-loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks, you guys. Bye for now.